Hello, my Learning Things family and friends. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Yep, it is time for another installment of Story Time with Lynn. You guys know we are covering the Viola Davis story, Finding Me. So we left off, I believe, on part 5. So today we're going to pick up. But first, before I get into that, I want to say happy March and happy Women's History Month, guys. So remember, we're going to continue to read this book to its entirety over the month because again it is Women's History Month. So I definitely like to cover in Black History Month things that are important to me and my culture, and I like to share them here with you guys. And also with the Women's History Month, I continue on with that. And so since Miss Davis is a woman, I want to continue on with just sharing her story. I really enjoyed sharing Miss Cicely Tyson's story maybe last year, and you guys really enjoyed hearing her story. So I'm so happy to be able to continue to share videos like this because I know you guys come on to my channel, at least where you're used to me doing Dollar Tree hauls, walkthroughs, and reviews. But I thank you so very much for joining me for other types of videos that I put on, like this one. I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying the story, following along, giving me your comments, giving me your memories. It is really, really nice. So I do want to continue. But you guys know when we start reading, I love to light a candle, right? So I already have my candle lit. It is the lemonade stand from Walmart. So it's like the small one. But oh my gosh, does it smell amazing, y'all. I love those cake smells, that bakery smells. Lemons and muffins and cakes and stuff like that. And so it's already got the room smelling all nice and cozy. So yeah, go ahead and get comfortable. Go ahead, grab yourself a snack, something to drink. You can, listen to me in the background if you're doing something around the house or at work or just having quiet time to yourself. However you may be listening to this, I thank you for tuning in. Okay, guys. So before I start the new chapter, I had a couple of questions from the last one that I did from chapter 5. A couple of you guys were asking, did those girls become friends with the girls? And yes, I did want to let you guys know they did become friends with those young ladies, although they were very, mean and they were bullying them and things like that. But there is one chapter, not a, yeah, a paragraph. There's one paragraph that I kind of want to read to you guys that kind of put some perspective on um, that relationship with those kids and what was going on with those children that were with the two women. So I kind of want to cover that really quickly with you guys. Then we're going to jump into the next chapter because, as you know, I am not reading the book in its entirety, but I am trying to read a little bit from every chapter for you guys because I kind of want you guys, if you're interested in the book, to be able to still purchase the book because I do not own the rights to this. So we want you guys to still be interested in purchasing the book if you like. Okay, guys. So first we're going to cover the paragraph, and I'm also going to make this into a playlist like I did with the Cicely Tyson readings, so that anyone who may not have seen any of the story times or who would like to kind of have a way to watch it in a nice order, you'll be able to go to the playlist and you'll be able to play part 1, 2, and so on. Okay, guys. So I'm going to make sure to start putting these in that playlist. But I'm going to read this one paragraph to you guys to kind of summarize a little bit about those kids. So it says, many years later, my mom saw Lisa, the meanest of the mean ones of those kids. And Lisa had apologized. She told my mom, Mrs. Davis, I am so sorry for how I acted back in the day, but I missed my mom. So if you guys remember, this is the young lady that her mom slapped and the young lady fell in the hallway or in the doorway. This is that young lady, guys. It says, they had taken me from her. They took all of us and were committing welfare fraud. That's why we had two different homes. All those girls were not my sisters, and the boys weren't my brothers. Plus, those women were sexually and physically abusing us. They even accused you of burning John's arm, but we all knew that it was a lie. I am so sorry for all of that, Miss Davis. So she saw that young lady years later, and the young lady apologized. I kind of just wanted to give you guys an update of what had happened with these kids and why they were so angry and why they were acting out in the way they were, because someone had taken them. These two ladies, not only had they taken them from their homes and committing welfare fraud and getting money for these kids. They weren't properly taking care of them and they were abusing them. So, how else would we expect these children to act and behave? I find that really um, horrible that they had to go through that. Like I said, I just kind of wanted to give you guys that little bit of tidbit. So now we are on chapter 6, guys. And chapter 6 title is called My Calling. And our top quote at the top is by Viola, and it says, "It was like a hand had reached for mine, and I finally saw my way out." Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and read. So it says, "Our television set at 128 did not work, but it had another television set that did work sitting on top of it, one that kind of relied on an aluminum foil wrapped antenna." And if you all are old enough, you've seen the old TVs, and when the antenna didn't work, they stick a hanger or something in it. Yeah, I bet some of you guys know about that. Let me know in the comments. So it says, "Connected to an extension cord from one of the few working outlets. The TV sat in the next door apartment. One evening while watching TV, a new world opened up before my very eyes. A woman who looked just like my mama came on television one night, and something magical happened. Suddenly, I saw her. I saw her. It was Miss Cicely Tyson in the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman. She had a long neck and was beautiful, dark skin, glistening with sweat, high cheekbones, thick, full lips, and a clean, short afro. My heart stopped beating. The shame, pain, fear, confusion, all these negative feelings I had about my life and my situation were blasted through a brand new doorway. It was like a hand reached for mine, and I finally saw my way out. The beauty of that moment was that my sisters saw an exit too. I experienced the true power of artistry at that moment. I found my calling. How Miss Tyson transformed from 18 to 110 years old was supernatural. I wanted to be supernatural. I wanted my life to mean something. And this was it. I finally found it. It wasn't long after I had my first performance, a skit with my sisters at a contest at Jinx Park, sponsored by Central Falls Parks and Recreation Department. It was a big deal. The whole city was buzzing. All the white kids who went to the Teresa Landry School of Dance for tap, dance, acrobatic lessons, and so forth, some of whom very freely called us the N word all the time, were favored to win. But anybody in Central Falls could create a skit, and whoever won got a profile in the paper and a prize. My sisters and I decided we were going to win that contest. Diane, being the academic high achiever and oldest sister, took the lead and told us, "I studied this. We need a producer, we need a director, we need a writer, we need actors, and we need a wardrobe budget." Diane became the producer. I was a writer and actor, and Anita was an actor as well. Dolores was a bit of everything and took on director, actor, and co producer. We decided to create our own original skit called The Lifesaver Show, based on Monty Hall's Let's Make a Deal. My mama was addicted to game shows back then. In our game show, contestants would come on, share their story about saving another person's life. Whoever had the best life saving story would win the contest. Dolores played a Monty Hall type of talk show host character. I played the ooh wee kid, that's Ted Lang from the television show That's My Mama. Diane was Fred Sanford from Sanford and Son. Anita was Aunt Esther from the same show. We wrote our skit over the span of 2.5 weeks, and we started early. We had a wardrobe budget of $2.50 that we put together by finding loose change. And for the things that we couldn't afford to buy, we raided my mom and dad's closet. They said, "You can take whatever is in our closet and use it." We took the fur coat that she got from St. Vincent de Paul, her straw purse, her hat, her wig. We got a suit of my dad's, which Dolores and Diane wore, although it was totally oversized. The rest we bought from St. Vincent de Paul with the $2.50. And just for you guys who may not know what the St. Vincent de Paul is, it was the Salvation Army. I just kind of wanted to clarify. So it was a thrift store, guys. Our rehearsals were intense. We approached the skit like it was Shakespeare. If a line didn't work, Diane would stop the rehearsal and tell me, "It isn't landing." Then I would go into the closet to focus and come up with something better. To put it in context, this closet was filled with junk and rats, but I braved it for the rewrites. Finally, the day came. We had researched the skit to an inch of our lives. I had massive stage fright, though. Massive. I could barely perform in private with my sisters. My throat would constrict, my stomach would be in knots. I would just freeze. But my sisters threatened me not to flake out or else. That's how important this was. It seemed like the entirety of Central Falls was gathered right here in Jinx Park that day. Reporters and photographers from the Pawtucket Times were there, and kids and their parents were sitting on the grass and on the huge rock that was smack dab in the middle of the park. Some spectators even brought folding chairs. When it finally had started and the group of kids who were favored to win were introduced, the whole park screamed in excitement. When they finished, it was to a thunderous applause. With the knowledge that they had found their winning group, I remember my sisters and I looking at one another, pumping each other up with confidence. And then they all sat back down, and Diane said, "Okay, you know we got to do it like we practice it. We're up." We did our little chant, which consisted of, "We're gonna win. We're gonna win." Diane looked at me and saw my fear. "We're not freezing today, Viola, right?" I nodded reluctantly. The butterflies in my stomach were overwhelming. But so was the desire to destroy what we had created. When they introduced us, the clapping was there was clapping, but nothing like the ovation for the previous group. That group stood near the stage with their arms crossed. We were the last group of the day. We started off by singing our own rendition of the jingle from The Tonight Show. Dolores came on first and said, "Welcome everybody to the Lifesaver Show. I'm your host, Monty Hall, and I'm here to tell you that we have a show where everyone is asked to share your life saving stories. We've got the ultimate $1 million prize for each of you." Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There was an interruption. That interruption was me. I came on as the ooh wee kid and mimicked Ted Lang, the town gossip, as best I could. "Ooh wee, I got it. I got it. I'm here to report it." Then 9-year-old me said, "Fred Sanford is coming on the show. He's coming on the show and he is about to mess things up. You got to watch out for him." Diane, as Fred Sanford, came on, shared his story that he saved a bunch of lives when he saw a group of people fall off a bridge and jumped into the water to rescue them. Anita, as Aunt Esther, came out, and Fred said, "Aunt Esther, I should put your face on some dough and make gorilla cookies." And he and Aunt Esther started fighting the way that they used to do on the TV show. Fred finally ends his life saving story by saying, "I jumped into the water to save Aunt Esther." Aunt Esther, played by Anita, was so moved, she said, "You went in to save me, Fred?" To which he replied, "No, I went in to save the fish because you so darn ugly." They began to fight even more, and Fred tore off Aunt Esther's wig, revealing her head underneath. The skit ended with a standing ovation. But nostalgia is powerful. The memory of the winning, the applause, the acceptance is my takeaway from this. But my lack of self love and my complete inability to open up to anyone about my one driving fear: my father is going to beat my mom to death one day, couldn't be voiced. The adoration is as powerful as the curtain was in The Wizard of Oz. It hid a lie that gave me temporary asylum. That's what winning was: an instant protection and smokescreen to hide the fact that I was simply scared all the time. I felt like an outsider all the time. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop right there. But I will let you guys know they won. Yes, they did. It says they won some gift certificates to McDonald's. And a softball set. So they did win. But oh my gosh, I really love that. So this is where she kind of sees a way to change her life, a way to kind of get out of all of the things that she was going through. This was, again, like I say, a way out. She saw this magic on screen through the wonderful Cicely Tyson. And when I was reading this, and well, actually she does a foreword in the Cicely Tyson book, so I loved that I can read about both ladies in both books. But her icon, or the person that showed her, somebody that looks like her, showed her there is a different way, there is a way to get out of where you are, something to aspire to, really inspired me reading that. So I hope it inspired you guys as well. And again, if you got any memories for some of these TV shows that I named, go ahead and write your memories down, or any comments that you may have on this reading. Again, thank you guys so very much for coming back for each and every part. It is a quite like great book, y'all. It really is. I am really enjoying it. And don't forget to meet me tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. You guys know I'm in Illinois, so if you're not in the same time zone, make sure you check what 6:30, what time you will be meeting. I will be live. We usually are doing a Dollar Tree bingo or Lynn Trivia. Tomorrow we are on Lynn Trivia. You know, it's giveaway time. It's just my time to kind of share with you guys. For one, to say thank you for being great subbies of mine. Thank you for coming to the channel. Thank you for supporting this channel. And so it's just my little way to kind of give back and to spend time with you guys in real time, right? So I hope to see you guys there for our live tomorrow night. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Bye bye.